Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I decided to share with you guys my thoughts on the TV show The Queen's Gambit. I started the show and I was this close to binging it all in a day, and then I'm just like, because I didn't realize that there were only 7 episodes. It was just so good and I was so hooked, and I kept going and going and going, and 3.5 episodes in, I just like scroll through to kind of check on what's about to happen, and I'm like, what do you mean there isn't any more to scroll? So I took a breather and I took my time and actually watched it like a normal human being. Or is binging the normal now? I don't know. I don't know. COVID has messed us up, right? But I have a few reasons that I think everyone should watch this show, and I'm gonna start off with, well, objectifying some people. Don't worry, I'm gonna do it to men and women alike. I'm not sexist in that sense, but I would also like to share whom I found most attractive. It doesn't have to just be because they were good looking. It's more about the characters that I either wanted to be like best friends with, or characters that I would like to date. So let's get started. We are going to start the ranking of the cuties on the show with the 5th spot, which goes to the twins, Matt and Mike. You know, nerdy, cute twins that are very quick to learn and change their assumptions about people. I like those kind of boys. They might have judged Beth at first, but you know, they got better. They grew pretty quickly. Taking the 4th spot will be Towns. What? If Beth can fall for him, I can too. He might be the only person on this list that it's on this list just because I find him physically attractive. Besides that, yeah, he's a sweetheart, and like the show portrayed him in a way that we're supposed to find him attractive, so I did. I took the bait, and no complaints there. 3rd is Jolene. My girl is perfect. She's an amazing friend. She's badass. She went against all the odds, and she made something of herself, and I love her. I want to be her best friend. I just want her in my life. Can Jolene be a part of my life? 4th on this list is the weirdest one for me personally, based on what I consider to be my taste. I had this huge crush on Benny as soon as he appeared on screen. There was something about that not overconfident, but the confidence and his ability to catch people off guard, and he was just cute. In the adorable way, not in the he's model handsome kind of way, but in the I want to know more, I'm intrigued kind of way. So it's Benny. Benny's in 2nd place for me. I'd like to get to know Benny a little better. And of course, the 1st spot goes to Beth. That might be because, you know, we get to know her the most, and I think she's fabulous. There was so much growth with her, and she's fantastic. She's an amazing main character for a show, and that is one of the main reasons I think everyone should watch the show. And it wasn't just Beth, but when I first started watching the show, although, you know, if you've watched it, you'll understand, but if you haven't, it starts not on the greatest note. The first episode is not exactly all happy and fun or whatever. The first episode is pretty intense, but it still had a very fairy tale-like feel to it. It must have been the way things were shot, the way the story was told, the scenes that we were looking at. It had a very, what I expect fairy tales to be like in my head, because like no story is perfect, and this story had everything. It had the drama, it had the grit, it had everything, but it also had that really airy, light fairy tale feeling. I'm not making sense because I don't think fairy tales aren't real, so I can't describe something that isn't real. But if you're watching a fairy tale, or if you're trying to picture a fairy tale, I feel like the show carries that vibe. Comment down below and let me know if I made any sense. The other thing that I absolutely loved about the show was that they gave us a number of strong female characters. None of them were perfect. They all had their issues, but that is the best part. They didn't give me like a perfect girl, a perfect woman. No one was perfect. They were all flawed, and that is what we need to see more flawed characters in the media. We're talking about characters like Alma, Jolene, Cleo, Mrs. Deardoff, and of course Beth. Am I forgetting any other important women? I don't think so. But we saw these characters, we saw their flaws, we judged them for it, as we do people in our real lives. But the one thing that they all had in common was, in one way or another, they were unafraid. And that is an aspect of being humans that we really need to embrace, and I like that they showed that in the show. So if you like strong female characters that actually are characters and not just pretty things on screen, you should definitely watch the show. Going on to something more fun. I was obsessed with Beth's style evolution through the show, not through the show, but towards the end, when she started embracing her sense of style and they were dressing her in pieces that I consider to be timeless, pieces that I think we could pull off in today's world because they were so classic and none of them really stood out. Yes, like she was wearing those skirts that were so popular in the 50s and 60s. Her color palette was just so neutral and fun, and it had this very earthy, grounded vibe to it for the most part. And then when she really needed to stand out, she was put in clothing that had this light, airy, ethereal feel. Like whites especially made her look very ultra feminine and even more special. And I really liked how they used clothing to convey certain things throughout the show. But besides all of that, besides the hidden meanings and like trying to understand the vibe of the show through her outfits, I think that it's pretty and she's definitely a style inspo. So, you know, print out some pictures of Beth Harmon for your vision board or like your style catalog or whatever it is that you do, you know, before you figure out what you want to buy next. Trust me. That's basically the thoughts that I have on the show. I didn't want to spoil anything, and I don't think I can give you guys an actual review of the show without spoiling anything. There's just so many tiny details that made that show so much better than what I expected it to be, and if I explain those things, it will ruin the magic for you. However, a side note, our boy Dudley really had a glow up. To all my Harry Potter fans out there, go check out this show. So the kid that played Dudley, Harry Melling, he plays Beltic, and he's this other chess player and everything, but I did not recognize him. Like, it didn't hit me who he was. But to be fair, I didn't recognize Benny either, and I consider Love Actually to be my favorite Christmas movie. I know it's not an actual Christmas movie, but still, Love Actually is both my favorite Christmas movie and my favorite rom-com, so whatever. But I didn't recognize Benny either. Like, they all just grew up. But you know, it's not a bad thing. But yes, definitely go check the show out, and if you've already seen it, do share your thoughts down below, preferably no spoilers. We don't want to ruin the show for anyone, but do let me know what you think. Thank you. Till I see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.